Things of that nature, and you owe it to yourself. Oh.
What up, everybody? What it do, D? Another session we got popping right here on Things of That Nature. We got a special one. We're going live for the first time on this one, man. Yeah,
Dang, man, I'm good,
we
bro.
got some secrets for y'all coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, my guy. So yeah, what we're gonna do here today, man, we got the session. We got some special guests. We got a good panel. We're gonna jump right in. We're gonna keep y'all and hold y'all too much. But like we always do about this time, we always like to go ahead and plug in our other cross promos to what we got going on Things of That Nature, which is putting something good in your belly with the one and only Cal Grizzly Culinary Cannabis Chef D from Left Coast Kings, right?
No,
We got the session for all the music lovers like this tonight, which is the creators and culture heads with Doc Madness and Sweatshop Recording Affiliates, Demolition Men Productions, D and all the panel and the guests. We got Unfiltered Combos, which headlines Real Talk, No Fluff, Stone Not Stupid, Facts, Clarity, and Cannabis Culture. And then as we always do, man, what's in your playlist? You know what I'm saying? So go check that out and you see what we like to vibe to, the soundtrack of life. So
yes, sir.
so we're gonna go ahead and do this, man. You want to start bringing these guests in so we can go ahead and
Yes, I
fill in?
will.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and do it.
First off, man, gonna bring in the one and only producer extraordinaire. I've watched this man create beats and shit, and yes, sir, beyond talented, the one and only Tony Effects. What's happening?
Yeah, what up, Tony Effects? What it do? If you could do us a favor, switch your camera sideways if you can. If not, then don't worry about it. But if you can do it landscape, just so that way it gives us the optics of a professional podcast. There we go. Yeah. It'll ding you in right. While he's going ahead and getting all of that prepared here, go ahead, D with
Yeah,
the X
I
and the
got
one.
it. I got the one and only, my youngest, Smith clan, my son Hassan, the dude who need to be spitting, but he is bullshitting right now. My boy got bars, but we just ain't got him to get it going yet. And last but not least, this is someone who has been on the show before, multiple times, the one and only Chief-O.
Chief-O, Chief-O, welcome back, Chief-O.
What it do? What it do?
That boy,
right. Yeah, good, man. Good to see everybody. Effects, I know you'll work it out, man. You probably got to turn your landscape on to make sure your landscape is on and automatically do it, switch it. So anyhow, what we're gonna do is, man, we got a panel we got all different age groups. We're gonna talk about experiences and things of that nature in music. And but mainly what I wanted to get into tonight, man, is that we got a segment where we're going to go ahead and dive into the music business and drop real game for the culture. Basically, what we're going to be talking about is major labels and how they're buying up indie infrastructure and see how that affects everybody on the panel. And then we'll dive into some personal experiences and what they got going on as well. So to start things off, basically, Doc Madness here, Thing Dose. For those that don't know, just want to go ahead and introduce that Sweatshop Recordings, Demolition Men Productions, Counterparts D, and then also Tony Effects. And basically, I want to know just a little bit about everybody and what they bring to the game. So if you want to go ahead and start Effects, just kind of introduce yourself so that way people can go ahead and understand what you do and who you are and what you bring to this conversation.
Oh, okay. Tony Effects, producer, engineer, composer, drummer. Guess that would be it. I ran through that pretty quickly. Been doing music since I was 7 years old. In the 50s, I do it all. Oh, DJ also. I just don't DJ no more.
Right, for sure. All right, Chief-O, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to our public?
Oh yeah, man. I go by the name of Chief-O, Blood, California. Producer, engineer, rapper, artist. Pretty much do it all for myself right now.
That's what it do, man. That's perfect. And Haas, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
Yes, I'm just Hassan. That's all I am for now.
Okay.
That's all
Sounds
you
good.
need to be. Shit.
Yeah, as long as we get
You
all
that's
kind of
all
open
you need to be, damn
conversation.
it.
we'll get all the conversation and everybody's opinions, which is great, man. We got different age groups, different experience levels. So by all means, hopefully everybody can get something from this panel. We always like to keep it respectful, so respect everybody's opinion. If somebody's talking, StreamYard does this thing where it kind of jumbles the information if we kind of talk over each other. So in the playback or when we go to do, people are listening to it, sometimes that happens. So let's just respect everybody when they got something to say and kind of like not over talk each other. All right, so
Yes, sir.
I'll go ahead and get started by something, and basically it's just the whole topic. And what it is a lot of artists ignore, or it's too late, that majors are slowly buying out a lot of the independent tools that we rely upon. I know everybody here's been doing some music or has a love and a passion for it, but beyond that, there is a music business side to things. So basically, what I wanted to do tonight is just enlighten people because there's a lot going on behind the scenes with AI, with a lot of the major labels jumping in, and how that affects us as independent artists, label mates, and so forth. Basically, what they're doing is they're slowly buying up a lot of the tools, and that's as far as digital streaming platforms, AI. They're getting deep into the AI game. So as we know, we already started to sell ourselves short when the labels started to get more and more hands-on from the beginning. It was designed to go ahead and take from the artists and everybody else that's involved and basically put the money back in their pockets. Things started to go a little bit left when the independent market opened up, and started being able to kind of bypass the machine, right? The big machine of how things were done, gatekeepers, and who had the right to say of who came through the door and who didn't. Then we started to get into the parent sharing or peer-to-peer sharing, LimeWire, stuff like that. And it seems like that's where the divide started to kind of come between the labels, major labels, and independent artists. Well, they got smart. They started to double back and get involved, and they started to talk to the tools, these platforms, right? So that's where I wanted to kind of start the discussion. There is, I'll start with you. Let's go ahead and start with you, Chief. I know you've been on this platform and things of that nature. Do you use digital streaming a lot? Do you rely upon it a lot on what you do?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't really got into the AI stuff like that yet. Like I've been seeing it a lot and knowing how to use it, but that honestly that'll be more for my cameraman. Honestly, he's been actually he showed me some little app where he basically created a short story just off of a paragraph.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And it looked crazy to see it like that. You know what I mean? But
Okay,
I don't know. I don't really dabble with it like that. I try to keep it as what is it, analog as possible.
okay. Organic and analog. What
Yeah.
about just the digital side? Like, say, for instance, streaming on Spotify, Apple
Mhm.
Music, all of that kind of stuff. Because I know that's a big thing that is being highlighted as now. AI is one side, but
Yeah.
like I was just speaking to effects behind the cameras and behind the scenes, in regards to a lot of like Universal Music Group. They're buying up like TuneCore, right? They bought
Right.
TuneCore. So basically, people that think they're doing things independently really aren't, because the machine owns TuneCore. So we have CD
Right.
Baby, TuneCore, United Masters, all of these independent distribution type of means. Do you use any of those?
I use DistroKid.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. That's another one, DistroKid. And are you aware about how these major labels are starting to kind of like bypass getting it on the tail end and going straight to these companies and partnershiping up and taking even more of the fractions of the cents that we get?
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I think that's just a tuck and cover move for them because people figuring out that they had the power all along. They just had to get the knowledge.
Right. Right.
I
Definitely.
mean,
It's something that it goes without saying because they move in silence. I mean, this stuff is being passed in the midst of the night. We wake up and this has changed, that's changed. I know a lot of us, I'm a victim of this too. I don't really look at the terms and the conditions of on every line, I don't read it to a T.
yeah,
So those are being changed, and those are the things that are affecting us. Like let's say for instance, if you upload your music to CapCut. Let's just use that, right? Let's use
Right.
CapCut as an editing tool. If you're using that for any type of editing, whatever, do you know that when you upload that music or your video, it becomes the property of CapCut? Like, you know, they
Uh,
have the right to do whatever they want to do with that, whether it's train AI, whether it's to use it in their own advertisements. And
yeah.
once again, this is where the major labels, when they start to pair with that, it becomes a big issue. Effects, do you want to jump in and just chime in on your knowledge of how this affects the bigger, broader scope picture on when these major labels jump into these independent things that we believe and still think that, hey, at one point it was, hey, I'm doing this independent, I'm able to do this on my own, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. But now that there's a a more of a partnership and a handshake that's going on behind scenes, do you want to go ahead and give some of your experience to this?
Oh, we've already seen that with the major labels and Spotify already.
Right.
They're already in cahoots with each other already, and so that's the reason why you saw some of the big name artists really getting a lot of the play and all the money. Um, it's not to say that it's a terrible thing, but it's not fair to the smaller labels, the smaller artists, and so on and so forth. But um, yeah, when it comes to those companies, they really don't let you know that because they want you to be ignorant to the information.
Right.
You know, they want you to be ignorant to the information so they can utilize it to its best interest. Because I mean, like, what if we're into sports, right? For
Hmm.
those who are in sports, what's it? Name likeness
Hmm. Yeah.
contracts, right?
NIL.
Um, the NILs, those contracts where they say, now they can use their name and likeness. Well, they kind of sneak that into a contract where they can utilize your stuff for their stuff because you're utilizing their product without having to pay you. So in essence, they snuck a free endorsement out of it. So what we're seeing also is now we're seeing these major labels starting to buy up these distribution companies, which is going to make it harder for the independent artists
Hmm.
because they can almost pick and choose who they want to promote and not promote or let through. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Matter of
it's
fact, I just read an article about Rock Nation and an artist they just signed. She signed for a 5-year deal, and in that deal, she cannot get pregnant. She can't go outside of their branding at all. So it just shows you the control that the labels want. So they're trying to get more and more control now, more so than ever in the past, really.
right. Wow. See, and that's something I didn't know. And a lot of times when it's 360 deals, you tend to hear a lot about that where there's restrictions that are put in there that weren't normal. Once again, it's a new day and age of how music is acquired and obtained. So they put a lot more restrictions on what the artist can do and what can't do. Like I said before, anytime you did a show, that was all your money, merchandising, all that good stuff. But now with some of these deals, they are able to go ahead and tap into that as well. And I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of that before they go ahead and start signing and doing these so-called independent deals, but or like these 360 deals or publishing deals. I mean, there's a lot more to it. I would like to just ask Hassan, since I know you're just a voice and Hassan right now, do you have an insight on the way you see it, or you get music and listen to music? Do you use like any of these digital streaming platforms, Tidal, Apple Music, iTunes, or any of those? Do you use that, or do you use like YouTube to stream your music? How do you kind of like get your new music or listen to music?
I use Spotify and YouTube. So sometimes YouTube is generated for my in my algorithm for like whoever just dropped,
Hmm.
and then Spotify for like if I just need to remember a song maybe.
Okay. So these are things that we utilize all the time and every day. And I know Chief O, he brought up DistroKid. Now, did you think by going through DistroKid you're independent? Like, hey, I am moving as an independent artist. And are you
Not
really doing that by them? You know what I'm saying? Like acquiring these major labels, acquiring these platforms.
um I I think in a sense I am, but then it's still a machine working. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's still something. There's still something going on the back end that I don't have any knowledge of. You know,
Right.
which I've been trying to learn. Because if that's the case, then we can push and promote our own stuff right through the label ourselves.
That part. That
But
part.
I mean, to be honest though, DistroKid is not the worst.
Right.
It could
Right.
be. It could definitely be worse. They could be taking splits.
Hmm.
Um, I honestly think I guess like at least I'm getting 100% to a certain I think it's to a certain extent though. Like
Right. Right.
like I I'm still studying on it. That's what I could say about that.
Well, definitely. That's what this I think this is for the knowledge, for those that didn't know, for those that do know to share it. So that way we can all make a better decision on how we move because at the end, it's your intellectual property. It's
Right.
everybody you're creating that and that holds the right there. But you got to protect those rights. There's
Right.
copyrights, there's publishing, there's all these different type of ways that people get to sneak in to take and grab what's rightfully yours. And that's what
Yeah.
basically we're just trying to bring that light to a lot more people, myself included, because it's a new day and age. And that's why I'm trying to ask all these questions of how do people acquire music? What is their means? Because it's changed so much and it's moving so fast. Like I said, what you brought up about the AI, which we haven't even really got into, that's like a whole nother lane. So just
Oh my
dealing,
gosh, for sure.
just dealing with what we have in front of us, which is what we do already. Okay, hey, when we go to upload our music and get it on these platforms, we are doing that to get it to masses. And then when we see our reports, we're saying, hey, X amount of streams. But when you look at the output and what's revenue and what's coming your way, it really is a big discrepancy, man, because fractions of a penny and they keep taking that and taking that and taking it and taking it. So that tends to lend me to think that this has gone back to the majors. This is really the same exact thing that they were doing where you hear a lot of the older artists in the back in the days that man, we sold all these units or all these records, but they're claiming that they're broke. They didn't get paid. Somebody took this. The accountant stuff, the paperworks weren't right. So now they're just doing it in a digital means. So I just like to bring that to the forefront and let people understand what we're getting into because we got BeatStars, Bandcamp. These all have already been acquired and been acquisitioned under a major platform. So as they start to move, basically it's almost the Trojan horse syndrome because they're moving at night. We don't see it, they plant this in there, everybody still goes down that road, and then it's like boom, they got us. So definitely just pay more attention to how they're moving and how it affects what you already have in place. You sound like you have a system. I know we have a system, but as we were alluding to on the new release, a lot of things are changing. We're taking new adventures because those weren't available before, but then we got to do the research on the tail end because it's like, damn, I didn't know this person still has a say in this. And this person or this machine, as we like to call it, actually has partnered already with this company. And all this time we thought we were moving as more on a micro independent, not on a major independent level, basically. So, but what we're going to do real quick is we're going to transition something. I want to go ahead and just kind of liven things up. D, I know you're quiet over there. What you
Hey
got in your
man, I'm just
playlist,
soaking
man?
game. You know I'm retired, bro. I'm telling y'all I'm
Yeah,
retired.
but we need all of the input, man, because everybody
Yeah.
here listens to music. So even if it's on level, and that's where I was gonna say, man, what you got? What you been in your got in your playlist, man? What you was
My
banging?
playlist. Okay, so I slapped that new Clips
Ooh,
album.
okay,
Uh, that's not bad, man. It's pretty. It's Let God Sort Them Out. Yeah,
mhm,
that's a decent little album.
right,
Other than that, I've been in a I got a Scarface station where it just play songs, you know, in his catalog and songs that are similar too. So that's like, man, from Mr. Scarface, that's a slap right there. It's some
right.
other stuff, but yeah, I just been vibing off of that. That's about it.
All right. What about you, Effects? What you got in your playlist, man? What you over there listening to and bringing? some of your soundtrack to life?
Well, for me, I'm gonna be keeping it real. I haven't been listening to a lot of music because I've been working on behind the scenes stuff. But once again, I was getting re-enlightened with Sierra the rapper. I'm still impressed by her. And then also the Asian females, is it XG?
HG,
Uh,
correct?
you know, they man, they're handling their business.
Yeah.
And then that new well, Kim just dropped a new joint. So yeah, just keeping my ears to the street, but I've been working on some behind the scenes stuff, so I haven't really been hearing a lot of music because when you're doing that behind the scenes stuff, it's intensive. So sometimes
Right.
yeah. So
Well, we'll tap into
I
that
keep
a
my
little
ears
bit,
to the street.
find out what's going on and what's keeping your time occupied there. What about you, Chiefo? What you got in your playlist, man?
Um, I'm not really listening to nothing new right now because I'm trying to stay focused on the project. So I don't
Mhm.
want to cloud my thoughts with other people's sound right now.
I
That's
feel
right.
you. I feel you,
But
man. I'm just telling that too. Go right ahead.
yeah, I got some favorites though. Right now, I've been heavy on Lil Shimmy lately.
Okay.
Artist from Florida.
Okay.
Um, I'm kind of over the Bay Area right now. It's nothing new.
Okay. All right. Hassan, what's in your playlist, man? What you got in your soundtrack of life over there?
So I just checked. I was just listening to uh Never Broke Again Young Boy.
Okay.
V's a Detroit rapper. He's coming up, like he's making it big right now. And Young Thug.
Oh, all right. That's right. Nice, nice, nice. I'll go ahead and throw mine in there. I'm like Chiefo and Effects. I've been grinding on this project, man, and I don't like to cloud my judgment of my thoughts or be influenced in a certain direction. So basically, when I do feel like I got to get out of that zone, I just listen to some more of me or some of the camp or people that I know because that's going to get me more inspired to keep moving. So outside of that, though, I right, I will go ahead and say before that, though, I was vibing out to some. Of course, I was slapping some of Russell, man. Trying to, stay abreast to what he's got going on, and his movement is as always. But outside of that, man, I went back into some old hip hop, man. On some Chino XL, some Razkaz, because they both dropped some new stuff. R&P Chino. But so I just kind of went back into some old stuff. That way, I wasn't listening to what they were doing now. I can just vibe out to the sound and the groove. So but yeah, I just wanted to liven up a little bit, man. I didn't want to bang everybody over the head with a whole bunch of knowledge, because I know we all here trying to get, what I'm saying, more information on the way things are moving. But at the same time, I want to know what you guys are doing. I want to know how, what I'm saying, what you guys are doing to inspire that I could be inspired by. So, D, what you got going on right now, man? What can you
Man,
bring to the table and get me
well,
inspired with?
well, first off, we got to give a shout out to Shantanice Robinson tuning
Okay.
in. You know what I'm saying? One of our
Tuning in.
thinksters. What's up with
That's
it, baby?
what's up. Loving the
We
game,
got
right?
Datsun TW on Twitch. What's up with it? You know
What's
what I'm
up?
saying?
Yep. What's up?
Other than that, man, I've been, well, I bought I had a ton of meat. I had to like season and vacuum seal, and
Right.
I'm one of the people that I just already gotta have the stuff ready. So when I pull it out the freezer, ain't no ifs, ands, it's just get it thawed out and get it cracking. So
Right.
yeah, so I got I think I put up season like 6 tri tips and 5 or 6 flank steaks, and I still got some ground lamb and some ground venison to patty up tomorrow, but that'll be tomorrow. But yeah,
Okay.
still working on the cookbook, man. Just trying to clean it up and
Right. It's gonna get
re
gonna get
editing when you go back and reread stuff, you're like, oh damn, okay, nope, gotta fix that.
yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
And then
Definitely.
plus, things of that nature is always keeping us busy. You feel me? So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely, man. I feel that. What you got going on? Haas, what you doing right now, man, with your time? You know what I'm saying, on your spare time, what you got going on in your life, man, that's inspiring.
I'm trying to prepare for the radical changes, man. I don't know what's gonna come. I feel like I'm really just riding the wave right now, and that's impressive enough, you know. So I'm just like really taking it cautious and slow at the same time, like
Right.
just trying to figure out what next moves. If I even got the luxury to make these next moves, you know. So
Right. Definitely. All right. Well, man, you keep on, you know what I'm saying, putting that thought in that process, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna make the right decisions. And like I said, man, you can always jump on here. You want to just release and get some, you know what I'm saying, some feedback, man. That's always a lane that you're always welcome to come on and jump on here and tap in, man. So plenty of knowledge on this panel here. Chiefo, what you got going and what you got moving on your end?
Really, really, right now, I'm just trying to stay focused on the project. I was gonna do a album or whatever, but I feel like that's gonna take more than a few months to just do. You know what I mean? It take a
Right.
lot of creativity. I'm so I was just in the studio today with a producer artist from the Bay Area, aka Frank from the Diligence. Um, I was just in the studio with him today, and we was just working and putting together so much stuff, and I was just thinking to myself like, damn, like it take a lot of creative brain to put together some of this stuff. So I want to make sure when I deliver an actual album that it's not just a bunch of songs that I created and put together like almost like a playlist just
Right.
to give people. I don't want to give them a playlist. I want to give them something to be like okay, we know something about you now, or we know your background, or whatever that storyline may be.
Right, right. You want to connect with them, man, and give them something to
Yeah.
look forward to. Definitely, man. That's one of the things I think that's missing in music. We'll get into that as well because that's a topic that I wanted to bring up, and further on how music gets to where it's at. But effects, go ahead, man. What you got going on and keeping everybody busy or yourself busy, and what can inspire us, man? What you got moving?
Man, I'm just impressed on what he just said right now.
Right,
The fact of he said he wants to do a concept album. He wants an album with a theme, something that they don't do these days, man. They just throw songs together like it's a buffet.
right.
So I'm actually impressed, man. Shout out to you with that one. Because
Well,
that's the whole point. It's the
Thank you.
albums used to be about a whole concept. It's like a movie, right?
Mhm.
You build and you pull them in and give them bits and pieces of different sides of you. So, and you know that's a great thing. So, shout out to you, bro.
Thank
Salute.
thank
But
you.
but in regards to what I'm doing, just doing some support work with the Doc Madness over there and Madman Smooth, aka Doc Madness, aka Madman Smooth, however way you want to do it. Working on a couple of beat album CDs because I got a whole bunch of beats that are just collecting dust. So I might as well do something with them. And in this time and age, it doesn't do anything sitting in my box. So put it out, put it out, put it out. So that's what I'm working on.
cool. Well, we're gonna take a quick minute. We got somebody else that's backstage. D, if you want to go ahead and do the honors, you're on mute, bro.
My bad. I'm one blunt in, so forgive me. I'm medicated, y'all. But anyways, we this next person we about to bring on is one of the illest motherfuckers out the central, out of Southern California. And if you don't believe me, check out his shit because the boy go in.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be sneak dissing him because he will hurt your pipsqueak ass feelings. So the one and only Kevin Ali.
Thank
What
you.
up?
What's up, fam?
What up, Kevin
Thank
Ali?
you. What's good, y'all? How's everybody feeling?
We
All
good.
right, all
Can you
right, all
turn
right.
your phone the other way, the landscape,
All
just
good,
so we
all
can get a
good.
full view, like a full,
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me
please.
see. My bad, y'all. I'm at work too. My
All right, we
bad.
get it. You
That's
got to
even
speak.
better.
Hey,
Somebody got to fund the dream.
Yep,
yep.
part. That part. So I've already gone around the
Mhm.
table, man. Kevin Ali, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers, man, and let them know what you do, what you
Uh,
bring into this music discussion. And I know you got a wide background, so go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Well, my real name is Quentin Westby, but I go by Kevin Ali because Kevin means to be born noble, and Ali means elevated. And I feel like I'm a noble man with an elevated state of mind. And yeah, I do music, and I'm an advocate for the foundation of hip hop.
Mhm.
Yep. So
Nice.
that's and I'm from South Central. I represent the West Coast, but at the same time, I know where the roots of what I do come from. So I'm a big up the East Coast any chance I get to.
Definitely, definitely. That's always we got to pay homage to where things have came from and then where they're going. So that's like in mind, sound, creativity and everything included. And that's one thing that we definitely want to bring on this panel, which is lovely to see. Just like Shantani said, the more people that we get to jump on, the more we can jump into the algorithm. So I bless all of you guys and hope for the best of whatever you're doing and prosperity because you took the time out of your day, your night. Kevin Ollie, some of us that are at work, I know we've done this. We're on location with other individuals at work, and it's a great thing to see those individuals, man, to come together. And then when you look at the panel here, you see a lot of melanated skin, and we can all do this with respect. We can all do this in support. So, if we need to exchange numbers, all of that, man, it builds from one point. And if we can look at how other ethnicities and other cultures do it, they come
Oh
together
yeah.
each other. So hopefully that we can start something and we can really ring the bell and get this moving on this. I'm gonna
And
ask you
real
this.
quick,
Oh, go for it.
can I jump it real quick? So the people in your row, Q, them your
Yep.
that's my youngest son on the far end, and the one in Chiefo, that's my son-in-law. So that's family right there.
Oh, so Cuzzo and Cuzzo.
Yeah, yep,
Deal.
That part.
yep,
what's
that's
happening?
family right there.
Hey,
Hey, well,
y'all
I'm
gotta
family too. I'm
y'all gotta
family
tap
Oh,
in
too.
with me
I
on
can't,
Instagram so I can follow y'all.
I can't, I can't
It's
forget
all
the
good.
guys in the row with me. That's family. That's a 30-year plus relationship. We
There we
family.
go.
So yeah,
So it's
yeah,
nothing but family up in here. That's
That's
right.
For
you know
sure.
it. Yeah,
exactly. And
a
like I said,
family
hopefully,
affair, baby.
we get everybody's emails. Like I said, we're trying to really do something and start it on the right foot. Not saying nobody has else done it, but I can only speak for what I do. And like I said, I love the culture. I'm all about it and anything to uplift it. So you guys all got my knowledge, my wisdom, my experience, and aiding and getting to a path to elevate in any means that I can assist, man. So I just want that to be known as well.
That's right.
Chiefo, what you smoking on?
Blue
I'm just
some blue cookies.
Some
blue.
bluesy. Okay, what's up?
Yeah,
I'm just checking. I mean, we do a strain of the day, so I
Yeah.
had
oh,
to ask.
that's
What
my
you smoking
strain
on?
every day.
Okay, for sure.
That's my strain every day. I'm picky right now.
That's
So
Okay.
good.
I got a question. I got a question for y'all. Y'all probably already done talked about this. How do y'all feel about Jim Jones disrespecting Nas the way he's been doing recently?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't even seen that. That's new news to me.
Yeah,
Salute.
bro, just basically he went
Yeah.
on the limb and was talking a whole bunch of shit, talking about he was better than Nas and all that. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro,
I mean, at that point, it's just I kind of take it to just like, all right, the analogy I use is sports. Like, we can't you can't really bark up no tree if you ain't got no championship rings. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like you
that,
still just a regular player at this point.
right,
Numbers is cool, but what is the grand scheme of the whole game to
right,
win the whole thing, right? So it's like Nas has won over his section a couple of times.
Yeah.
Without, like I mean,
Hands down.
he's
Hands down.
battling with one of the other biggest dudes from the city. You know what I mean? So
right,
Yep.
at that point, it's just like, what are we talking about?
exactly.
And
Yeah. Hey,
I'm not big on neither one like that. I do got some of each one of their albums,
Mm-hmm.
but Jim Jones could just stop it.
Man,
He could
I'll
stop
go ahead
Big
and add my 2 cents, bro. Is that I feel it's a great disrespect. I think a lot of people come out and talk sideways because a lot of the individuals don't do their history. They don't go
right.
back and really find out. So it's easy to talk that, pop that now, and people
Mm-hmm.
to get behind it for the clicks and the views. But we really want to talk about it, man. He can't hold anything that Nas is doing. Nas is a legend in the game, but what he gives back is what's the bigger thing, man. He's moved the needle for us several times in this, he's also showing how to expand and go and reach above and beyond. Where I think there's a lot of stagnant stuff that's going on when it comes to Jim Jones. No disrespect to what he do, but I just think he stays in his lane. It's stagnant, and there's really nothing else that he has to offer that people want to see. Where there's an elevation when you start talking Nas and bringing him into the concept and conversation.
Right.
So,
Right.
what about
Right.
yourself?
Me? So what I think about it is I have no problem with like artists feeling like they're the best. Like you're supposed to feel like that.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, like Cuzzo was alluding to, it's levels to it. Like as great as I think I am, I would never go out publicly and say like, oh, I'm better than Kendrick Lamar or I'm better than J. Cole, because those guys are accomplished in the industry. Like I still have to, get to the point to where I'm acknowledged. So I would never, speak my name in the same breath with those guys because they're proven. As great as I think I am, this is just not realistic. And I think Jim Jones should have had that same approach because he famous, he got on, but Nas has multi-platinum albums. Nas, got a Grammy outside of his prime. He got a Grammy outside of his prime.
Jim
Just
is
like
on
Cousin was
drugs.
alluding to, Nas has won over the whole city of New York, not just his borough, many a times, and gotten battle with Jay-Z, who many people believe that he won. So and then a lot of people have Nas on their Mount Rushmore. Like I don't hear people speak, of no disrespect to Jim Jones, but I don't hear people speak of him in that light.
Probably
Right.
the streets, but not
Yeah.
the
Right.
music. And like that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's what's going on right now in the industry. Like it's a battle between authentic talent and then people that's semi-talented or have a different story. Like
Mhm.
it, I feel like it used to be. I feel like not all them rappers in the back in the day was living a real gutter life. Some of them was just out there, and
Right.
they just knew how to narrate the story good. And
Right.
it was an appreciation for that. Now it's like you mention anything about some type of struggle, they want to know what flavor noodles you was eating. Like, damn, it's too much to prove nowadays. So it makes
Yeah.
it harder for people like me, make it harder for people like Cuz who literally just got a talent and we know how to use it. And we're not trying to step on nobody's toes. We just want to step through the door.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that because that brings me to my next point that I want to bring up, which is gatekeeping.
Oh
There was a
Lord.
big thing back in the days that was it was this eluded thing that there was a lot of gatekeeping to get through in the machine, and they would pick and basically it's a small niche industry. So basically, it seems like now there's just anybody. There is no gatekeeping, and now we're getting flooded with just all different types of music. Do you guys think that there's a miss? It should be some gatekeeping that it's missed, so that way we do have some type of like I can't just go pick up basketball and go to the Intuit Dome and jump in the game and play with the Clippers. I can't do that. Like there's going to be steps. Somebody's going to stop me at the door. But there's anybody could just pick up and with AI even alluding to is to pick up and say, hey, I want to get into hip hop. Ta, 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 ta. Go over here. Let me upload it. Boom, 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 boom. Now it's on every DSP, and I'm in the game, and I call myself, a hip hop, R&B artist, a musician, whatever it is that I want to. And now you got to go through hoops and bounds and all this kind of stuff to have AI detectors to see if it's really a person that's doing it. And then you got this. So do you guys have any input on if there should be some gatekeeping that allows, those that can do it? Because I don't know if anybody's seen the freshman class at Double XL. So
Oh, yeah.
that should be
I
right
sent it to
there.
Haas. Yeah.
That should be an indication of just people just being able to just run through the door, but really nobody at the door making sure that you got the credentials. Anybody?
I think gatekeeping still exists, but it like the criteria that you need to meet is just completely different. Like before, they put more time into like the artist's music sonically and sometimes their background. Nowadays, it's more so like what type of following do you have on social media, and if you have a big enough following, then we'll let you in and give you a chance. And I feel like it needs to go back to the way it was because they're bringing a lot of these guys in, but just as fast as they're coming up, they're broke within the next 3 to 5 years, and it's like there's no
If that-
foundation, so they fall apart fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Effects. Do you got to put any input on this as far as like the? I know it's just a term that we're used to as gatekeeping, but you know what I mean. It's just the having that okay, yes, that's the meets the criteria versus it doesn't meet the criteria. What do you feel?
There should be some type of checks and balances. I agree um, that there is a gatekeeping to a certain degree. Like you said, followers, what is your reach, how much you're trending, and so on and so forth. Okay, yeah, there's that trending, but there should be some checks and balances. I think I heard something like there's like 10,000 songs uploaded daily,
Mhm.
and when you have that amount of music, it's literally impossible to try and find great talent or talent that should be getting the shine that they should be getting, um, because you're just oversaturating the market. Now there should be balance. We used to wait 1 or 2 years for albums to come out, so yeah, that was too long, but that's what also built the anticipation, what allowed you to wait and get excited for an album. I think music should kind of mirror in a way with how movies are still now. You don't see them, they come out faster than they used to, but they're not coming out like literally a new movie coming out every day. And that's kind of in the scenario that we're looking at. We need to have some type of balance. There's
Right.
G League, there's Division 1 basketball and all that, and then you get into, you got to go overseas and whatnot to get your skills up, and then you come play for the NBA or the Olympic team. You just can't just like you said, Smooth, just walk onto the court and think you're going to get down with a top 5 team, and they're gonna just let you get your ball on. Now you better sit your butt on the bench for a little bit and
Right, and that's
and
what things that
so
aren't checked and balances in
you have
place.
checks and balances.
Right, right. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna also say this, and that's not to because you can get somebody who's very creative, and it is a one-off here, and those come in between, very few where somebody's just like, hey, you got it, you just natural at this. So those are
Hmm.
gonna be those one-offs. Those are gonna be those individuals that kind of step, and cut through the line a little bit. But I think for the most part, the system that we need to is to really take a look at is quality. That's a big thing, right? Like quality in this industry means a lot. And when I hear something that's subpar, and you could just tell that individual really didn't take the time to put it in there, mix it right, engineer it right, whatever it may be that may seem a little bit off, then to me, I think it should have been caught prior to that. We all have, I don't know, well, I can speak for myself. I have a team around me, and I tend to go to those individuals when I create something, and
Right.
they give me their honest feedback. That's my gatekeeping there. That's what I'm looking at, right? Like I go to these individuals, I honor their opinion, and they're gonna speak it to me and being real, and I got to be able to receive that. So I got to be mature enough to understand that everything I do isn't going to be top tier. So if they see that or they give me some input, I should be able to, okay, take that into consideration. And if it's something that I do feel that I would like to keep because maybe they don't understand the vision, then I can go ahead and articulate that to my team as well. So that's more what I'm looking at as far as do you think that a lot of these individuals have these people or teams or individuals in place that have that best interest of the sound, the quality, the output, the end game in mind? Or do you think it's just, hey, let's get it out and let's just hope something, pops from this? Because not every song that pops is of good quality either.
Right.
So, do you feel that it's something that needs even more attention and focus to, or should it just be like, hey, that's just how the music
I,
industry is?
I think I think guys need to quit being yes men and quit being scared to tell the artist like, hey, like I think you could do this better. I make sure like when I make music, I make sure that people around me like tell me the truth, because although like I do feel like I'm my biggest critic, at the same time like it does help when I get a phone call from one of my friends or people that I'm working on my project with, and they tell me like, hey, like I think you should take this out, or I think you could have did this better, or I think this song is just not good. Like I feel like
Right.
that's important. And guys, I do think guys do have teams, but they're just the people within the teams are scared to tell the artist like, hey, this is not it.
I can see that. I can see that. What about you, Chiefo?
I agree 100% with that. Most people don't even like recording with me, because like I was saying in the first time I was on here, I'll record a whole verse and then I'll delete it. Like it was nothing. I don't have no emotional attachments to it. So when other people come over, I pretty much gatekeep them. I'm not gonna let this verse get out the studio if I don't think it's good enough. I'm not gonna let you come in here and settle for less. Like you want to make a song, well, this is how we do it. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I definitely think that it needs to go back to the old ways, though. Like at some extent, like the following is nothing. I don't believe you need a following. They just want to see how many people you can lead to the how should I put this?
The bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. How many people can they
The
lead to the
bullshit.
bullshit? Because that's what's getting put on. If
Right.
you know everything from out this side of the West Coast, Stockton, and all that stuff is every beat, every rapper, they all have the same cadence, the same everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like nobody's separating that no more. Like you know what I
Right.
mean? There
Right.
wasn't there was never two Snoop Dogs in the game at the same time. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's
There
like
was
now,
never the same version of a Snoop Dogg in any era, any
right?
damn time. You feel me? Like,
There was, but they weren't pushed. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just saying, just himself. He's always changed and elevated and done it different. You know what I'm saying? You always got a different version of him to where you,
I
by the
think
time you
they,
try to copy that shit, he on something else, and you
right.
like, damn. And then it's like, just be yourself, fool.
Right.
well, the
Be
biggest
yourself.
difference that I think for that time period is that there was no need or want to sound like somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to sound different,
It was
so therefore you
originality.
didn't have that copycat. Man, for a while we were on this copycat, whatever I don't know what the hell it was, but everybody wanted to sound like everybody. So therefore it got to the point you couldn't even tell who was who.
Right.
So
Exactly.
so that's why you hear that, the exhibits, the Snoops, the Tupac, the E40s and Richie Rich and so on and so forth, going to the East Coast, Method Man and the Wu-Tang Clan and Rakim, taking even further, nobody sounded the same. None.
Right.
Vocally, style wise, delivery, everything was different. And
That was
then
the
we got
whole
to this
purpose of
point.
having a camp back then too.
Mhm.
Everybody in the
And
camp
now it
was
got to the
different. They
point there was
brought
this
something
cookie
different.
cutter style going on that everybody wanted to, well, that chocolate chip is selling right now, so I'm gonna start selling chocolate chips.
Right.
Now we're seeing people are starting to understand that it's that diversity that makes hip hop great. It's
Right.
diversity blending in, not everybody likes chocolate chip, but hey, some people like chocolate chip and oatmeal cookie combined together. Okay, then hey, do that. So,
Yeah.
so we need to go back to that word, and we're starting to see a little bit. I think we're starting to see lyricism's coming back, which is a
Mhm.
great thing. We're seeing that people are listening to beats, and I mean, no disrespect to the 808s, but damn, you can only do so much with 808s. And I'm from
Right.
a producer perspective, there's only so much you can do with an 808 kick.
Right.
So that, seeing people starting to play bass lines and bringing that back, now you're going to see that flavor in music that we didn't have for a
Right.
long time. So, so I think it's a great time for that. And to go back to the Jim Jones thing real quick, there's a difference between having an impact and being impactful.
Facts.
Ooh.
Facts.
Ooh. That's a
Facts.
gem. That's a
Facts.
gem right there because
Yes,
um
sir.
and that goes along with something else that I had to be corrected at that I used to say, and I know you probably even heard it on this show, but for those who haven't, is we always been taught that knowledge is power. Effects, you want to go ahead and chime in the real what that mean, what it's supposed to mean?
Well, they say knowledge is power, but the reality is applied knowledge is true power because you can have the knowledge and do nothing with it. So therefore, the knowledge is useless.
And that's
But if
something
you
that we
use
don't realize.
that knowledge, then now it's power.
Right. So we have sometimes we have a lot of things. We have talent, we have knowledge, we have a lot of, but then we we procrastinate at applying it, and then I think that's our biggest hindrance into achieving that next level, that next thing. And I know I've heard this on the channel where people are saying that, hey, I will speak up and let a person know that, hey, that's not a good, song. You could have did this better, or you could have done this with it. You've heard that Chiefo saying people don't like to record with him. D, I know we've had this conversation. You know how this works, right? From being in the
Yep.
studio and seeing it's like, nah, man, we can do it better. You can hit that. You can nail that better.
Yep.
So it's one of
I've
those
been in there
things.
with that man over across from you, and he was like, "Hey, bro, are you really that mad at this individual?"
Competitive support. I think that's what
Yeah.
you call it.
Hey, man, I had wrote a diss track, and I went to Effects to record, and he like stopped me in the middle, like mid verse. He was like, "Bro, you really don't like this motherfucker, do you? I need you to tone it down a little bit." He was like, "Just break it down." He was like,
Right.
"Damn, relax, breathe." Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Right.
and I've sat with Smooth many a times and go over some shit and be like, I don't know about that line right there, bro. Or
Right. Right.
you need to do something with that.
Right.
Like, you need to do something with that right there. So, that competitiveness, that constructive criticism, you need it, and you need that. You need the people around you to be 100% with you. You don't need that yes man shit, because that could lead you to a dead end with a roadblock behind you. You gotta figure out why you ain't going nowhere, because
Right.
you got people who just want to say yeah just so they could be around, and that's not needed.
Mm,
That's not
definitely.
needed at all.
That's definitely, and that's something that I think, it's hard to teach. That either you gotta understand that at listening to your peers and how your upbringing is. But once you're there, especially in this industry, everybody's gonna tell you what they want you to hear because they know where the end game can lead to. And I think sometimes that's an explosive situation. We all don't have the best team or people around us 100%. But that doesn't mean that we can't see it and still be, hey, that you still the homie. I get that. This is how you get down. I just don't get down that way, but I still got love for you and move accordingly. And then me being like, hey, that's cool, and I give you support and I wish you the best. So
Yeah,
Here's
that
a
take a
question
lot.
I like to
That take a
ponder
lot
or throw
for
out there.
some people though.
right.
Um, has anybody pondered about? I know we've talked about it. I mean, Smooth talked about it, but has anyone really pondered? When was the last time you seen groups?
SOBRBE.
And I
Right.
think it was done purposely. The
Yep.
groups were broken up because, in my opinion, my theory is when you separate people and you're dealing with people on an individual basis, it's easier to divide.
Right.
So when you had the Public Enemies and the groups back in the Poor Righteous Teachers, we're also missing music that had messages too. Poor Righteous Teachers, snap! I just had it just left me, but when you
Quest, De La
Tribe
Soul.
Called Quest, so when you're looking at that
Hey,
Queen Latifah and her time, with UNITY and those type of songs, but the point is that we don't see that nowadays. Everybody's individuals. So that's we're seeing we've been seeing for years fragmentation of hip hop, and we're starting to see it. And we've been seeing it in pop, R&B as well. R&B has
R&B's gone.
basically been destroyed.
Right. I got a
Anything
question.
that had any emotions or feelings to it has been literally wiped out. Now it's just the music makes you feel good, but the lyrics don't.
Right. And to piggyback on that, Chiefo, have you always been a solo artist?
Nah, actually, I haven't.
Okay. And when did that transition come? Was that something that it came through like just through your choice? Did it get forced? If you don't mind, just
Nah, it
elaborate.
was how can I explain it? It was more so I gotta put this. The manager had some stuff. We had a manager and she had some studio equipment going that she had purchased for us. And I was telling some of the group it should have went to one of our other group members who's made it big in the game now. I'm not gonna disclose all that, but he made it and he left, but he left the group, you know what I'm saying? But he had all right to, all the equipment was the stuff that he, poured into the group. He was like, yeah, this is what we need, this, that, and the other. I didn't even know how to work the DAWs back then. Only DAW that I knew how to work at the time was Fruity Loops. Like all the engineering, mixing, mastering, compress, I didn't know nothing of it. So we didn't get it. We ended up bringing it to a different location instead of having to go to another member of the group studio. So we fell out, but everything is fixed now. But it definitely didn't. It definitely could have stayed. The group aspect is cool. It's just it all depends on the egos, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of compromising. I come from a group originally myself, and that's the reason why I wanted to ask that question. What about yourself, Kevin Ali? Have you always been a solo artist, or do you come from like a camp, a group? How did that work out for you?
I've always been a solo artist,
Okay.
but watching from afar, um, like I feel like you could kind of see with certain groups as a reference, like on how difficult it is to balance that, as individuals. Like the Migos, for example. Um,
Mhm.
who else? That-
Yep.
I'm sorry about this.
No. Hey,
Walking
it's
through the work.
it's that nature, bro. Just do what you do.
Yeah. My bad. Let me answer to this walkie, but my
Go right
bad.
ahead. Go right ahead. And just while he's doing that, I just want to give a little backdrop to myself. I come from a group. There's a lot of compromising that goes along with that. It was kind of like forced into me becoming a solo artist myself. And I wish I could have kind of like seen it from afar, like Kevin Ali was alluding to, where you can almost kind of see things from afar and see where there can be these issues. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out. Dre Day on the track. What up, my guy? What it do? Salute, man. Team
Yeah, what it do, Dre Day?
Tapping in. That's what it do, man. I wish you can jump on this and get your input too, but we have plenty more coming up. But just as I was talking about in that aspect, there's a median, and I know effects if you want to chime in, because we had a group and we actually had a producer that was in the group, which was a little bit different as well. And I'm gonna say that was also structured because of the way these labels on how they try to separate, divide, and conquer. We've had labels that try to take off the producer and their work from what they've done to the album. We've had it where they try to get and be in one person's ear. These are the things, or can you sound more like a different group? So these are the kind of things that go on behind the scenes when people want to go ahead and get what they get as far as a deal, or some type of, hey, I'm in a bind. I want to make this happen. I really want to chase my dream. So sometimes that can be a tug and pull if you're in a group, because we've had distribution deals belly up because we went into it with individuals and we didn't know where their heart was at, and they cost us some opportunities. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's a big reason why we don't see a lot of the groups. I know he's talked about the Migos. It's very hard to see groups that have lasted through time and time and time, right? Look at Diplomats, just them as a team, right? They all went their separate ways and they're still having issues. You don't see Tech Nine in his camp, right? A lot of those individuals, they're no longer together. Everybody's kind of like went their separate ways. So I always ask that. There's only like one or two that I can think of that I still know that really there was no separation to say that they broke up, and that was like MOP. Like that's the only one that I could think of to say that they still, what I'm saying, how
Locks.
there was never no
Lock.
yeah, the locks, you're right.
Locks, yeah.
The locks as well. So I mean, these are, but when you start to think about
Very
more,
few.
yeah, it's very few. It's kind of like you're pondering it. So Kevin Ali, it's back on you. If you're ready, man, you can go ahead and finish your thoughts, bro.
Oh, you took all the words out that I was thinking. Yeah, I
Right.
think Tribe. They all still cool, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's but also Ray Trimmer, they had their problems, and
Yep.
and I think it comes down to like guys. It's kind of like when I think about groups, I think about Shaq and Kobe on
Mhm.
how both of them wanted to prove that they wanted to win without each other because
Right.
the talk is, oh, this guy is doing all the work and the rest of you guys are just backups. So
Mhm.
a lot of people want to get out of the group and try
Right.
to, show that they could do their own
Sure.
thing, like Kobe or a Bobby Brown, you know. So
Yeah.
so that's like back to what you were saying, cuz of egos. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
main thing. Keep your ego in check for the betterment of the group.
Because everybody can't be the damn superstar. Like
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to have one
you gotta
superstar. Just the
clap your
group.
hands when you
Everybody
got
supposed to
somebody like a
shine. Like,
yeah.
you
Right.
know what I mean?
You got a Kobe or you
You a
got a
group for a
Curry. You gotta
reason.
be thankful for them type of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought
Exactly.
all bands broke up.
I don't.
All
My bad. No.
bands
I'm
broke
sorry,
up.
bro.
Yeah.
Well,
All majority of groups that have broken up, it's
Oh.
majority because of their fucking ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
always the
It's the
ego.
ego. That's what they break up over. Oh, I'm the best. I'm the best. Well, shit, I'm gonna go on my own and prove it. And then, you know,
Right.
It's funny because we're talking about Bobby Brown, right? I didn't know that Bobby Brown actually started New Edition. I was listening to this podcast, and he actually started New Edition. It was he invited someone else. Who was it first? Oh, Ricky. It was Ricky first,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all over a talent contest, which is what this was. He built the whole group, but it was Ronnie Bobby. It was Bell Biv DeVoe that kicked him out of his own group.
yep.
And he even said, I always wanted to go solo, but I only did the group thing for this talent contest. But, the things you start to hear later, you're like, oh, wow, I never knew that,
Right.
but but everybody has to pay. What was it? Nelly and the Lunatics, was it at the time?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
He was getting the buzz and everybody got behind him. They said, he's the one that's blowing up right now, so let's just get behind him. When you play with, like a team, an NBA or NFL, no team wins a championship without his role players.
Yep.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Role players are very important because
Yeah.
without them, the stars is dying out there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Because we've seen it. The 1-2 punch can only work so much.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Right. That's true. And one thing people don't realize is that the mentality to go in and be supportive versus the mentality of it's on me. Like that's a lot for that person who is the limelight. The person when you say Eminem and D12, like there's a lot on that person that is the forefront, that artist, the focal point. Just like I was thinking about this as everybody was talking, because we have several different artists on here, and I was saying, what if we were all a group? Right? Instantly, everybody here is going to think that they have what it takes to be that star. You've heard it come out of everybody's mouth pretty much that they got something that they feel is unique, is different in what they bring in. So when you take that, and there has to be a compromise somewhere, and that's tough, especially when you have those type of mentalities. So that's the reason why Slaughterhouse didn't really work out, right? Because you took individuals that had all of these solo careers that was the men at their solo careers, and you put them in this big, super group, and it's a lot of compromising and tug and pull because Chiefo, your sound might not be the best sound when it comes to music selection. If we were all a group that I do my best work on, but I'm not gonna stop it. Let you shine. Let you do what you do. I'm there to support. And then the next song, maybe I can get a beat that favors me a little bit more, or if that's how it worked, right? But it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the part when you get into a group. Sometimes it don't work that way. So
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, man.
thank you.
I believe there's a way maybe that you can change like the application of a group. Like groups always came off looking like like four dudes. They all got something unique in it, but and you combine them all together and you get the whole shebang. But what if a group just changed the way that was? Like there's still a group. One this guy, the next pushing him. Everyone's pushing each other. But you're getting the entertainment in the video. So like, just for example, I could be rapping, and then you see like you got to set up theater for people that just don't want to like listen to dry music, so if you want people to look at something and also be like, man, if you watch the video, like this go on, you could put those artists in the video.
Right.
Everybody just has to be all in.
Right. I can see that. I can see that. That makes a good point. Definitely. I just think when you get when the reality is when it's not you, it's kind of like easy to say that. But when they're looking at you, because somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to raise their hand and say, "Okay,
Why you
I
got
will
all the
support."
you go first all the time? Why you always last? Why you
Right.
always
You start
like
getting those.
Hey, you know what? But my answer to that question would be, well, why you didn't raise your hand?
facts? Facts, but you
Right.
If
know,
you're a
that's what
leader,
I'm
you're
talking.
gonna raise your hand, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You're gonna.
You
But
know,
see,
and
that's
then
then when now it's like, okay, well, shit, I was gonna do that, but then now we got that little
Yeah.
whatever it can be, and that's what I'm saying. Those little things, nuances, tend to
uh,
become bigger because it somebody still has to say me, right? Like you said, if
yeah,
you raised your hand, so that now you got so you raised your hand, and they said, okay, cool. So now I gotta be cool enough to be like, damn, I didn't raise my hand, so I gotta support that. And then
Yep.
you're gonna, in your mind, you're automatically thinking that I'm supportive of that.
right.
You're not gonna. It's not a conversation. It's unwritten, right? So that
It's a okay.
right.
This how they
But
looking at me.
yeah, right. But now I'm in the back, like, next time, if there is a next time, guess what I'm doing? I'm jumping. So there's always that little something in the back. And that's what I think that a lot of when you see a group like the Locks or MOP or the ones that we've talked about, it's they don't care who's in the limelight. She Luke never cared about who was in the limelight. When you see Jada on stage, you see Styles P right there digging him up, like, hey, yeah, go get him, go get him, go get him. But you can see that difference when you look at other groups. So it's kind of like they sit back with that, what do they call it? That little the you're looking out the corner of the eye kind of syndrome, right? Where it's like, hey, why do I get that look? And you really don't pay much attention to it. And I'm not saying this happens in every group. I just think there's a lot of that because of groups be together for 10 years, decades, bro. And all of a sudden it's like, boom, they're separate ways. And there has to be something that builds up, to that point. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they just have to have the same end goal. Sometimes people go to bed and that night you don't know what the next guy's thinking, and that's why he's breaking off that branch. It has to be like a real everyone really does this together. It has to be done like you got to be a unit. What I mean, you got to move as one, and you're not moving as a unit if you're not telling the next guy what you're thinking. So that's
Right. Well,
Treat the
communicate.
group like the body, right? Like the arms don't work. The right arm don't work without the left. The left leg don't work without the right. You know what I mean? Like
That's true. That's the
it
hand
has to.
and
They gotta
everything.
work in unison. They can't really work apart, right? You
Yeah,
can't
it can't really
your
work
left leg
apart.
can't
Like
go left and your right leg can't go right at the same time. There's gonna be
you
some
show me a
problems, you know
track
what I
star
mean?
that ran a
Yeah.
race with one leg, literally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't go like that.
Yeah, it's always definitely something that is it goes without talking about a lot. It just happens, and just once again, it was a good thing I think to bring up, just hear different insights and how people look at it. And Dre Day brings up a good point. He says it's all politics, and if we want to go ahead and drop that and just leave it to
Exact.
that, the
Oh man.
politics of the industry, divide and conquer, all of those things that are used as tools, then definitely we all know that that's part of this and entertainment as a whole, right? And this is a big part of entertainment. Now I do got a question. This is going to start coming down to producing now. I know artists on here, when you're looking for the beats or when you're selecting your beats and you go to register the beats, do you guys care how many names are involved into that track? Like, say for instance, I know right now you're hearing a lot of collaborative beats getting done, so you're seeing 4, 5, 6, sometimes 8 names on a track. Will that make you go a different way and shy away from getting it so that way the splits and everything are done, or does it matter because business is business?
Uh, I would say business is business for me. Like I'm not hating on somebody getting some money because it's enough of it out here for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Right.
look at that.
Okay. What
It's
about
I
you,
think it's
Ken?
just the person. It's really just the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
but I would think like food if you feel like you got good to offer. You care. but your project that you feel proud of.
You
I can barely make out what you're saying. I don't know if it's just on my end, but some of that you might have to repeat. My guy kind of got broken up.
So I was saying, yeah, like I think it could just depend on the mood, you know. So if you feel like what you got is really good, who cares about how many names are on it? But vice versa, if you feel like what you need is to, you know, be more methodical on what you're doing, then play it that way. Because like I wouldn't like to see a lot of names on that beat.
Right. I can see that. I guess the way I look at it is business is business. And I don't care how many, as long as if you're saying, hey, everybody gets to split equally, let's rock with it. Or send me over. I know effects, you have certain splits vision into the way you need your splits done. So as long as you're giving me the information when I go to register, or however we get that done, and that's communicated. Once again, communication is always going to be key in this arena. The more that we can communicate, the more we have an understanding and talk that same language. As long as there's no barriers there, I think we can get anything done. It's not rocket science. It's really just sitting down and figuring it out and saying, okay, who, what goes where, and making sure it happens. So, but I know I hear that a lot where people will say they shy away from it because they're like, oh man, that's too much to do. There's too much going on and to figure out. But when in this industry, you got to know the business. You got to know business. I mean, that's
right.
goes without saying. You can't just do this. I mean, you can if you want to, but in those tend to kind of like lead towards problems if you're trying to do this and connect dots to where now you're making revenue off of it. So you're turning it into a business. You got to treat it like a business in the same light. And sometimes the counterpart doesn't understand that, and that can be a disconnect. So I always like to just bring up things that I hear when I'm talking with other artists or that I see coming up. Do you guys have any questions or concerns that maybe you've came across or experiences that you would like to just bring out to the public? Just anything to share for the person that, let's just say, is trying to get into this, like Hassan right now. He's doing soaking up game. Somebody else that's out there soaking up game. Kevin, I'll start with you. Do you have, or he might be busy right now. Let me start with you, Chiefo. Do you have anything that you want to go ahead and drop some gems to anybody out there that's seeking a career in doing music?
There's no time limit on it.
Mm,
Just go. Just do it. Just right now, like it, I tell them like when I reveal my age to people, they don't.
mhm.
Some people don't believe it, so I just tell them like just keep going, man. Just don't worry about all of that. Don't worry about what people saying. That's what rapping is about. It's expression. So if you scared to express yourself, then this ain't the business for you. So that's what I'll say. You
Right.
scared to express yourself, then don't come over here because that's what we doing over here. We expressing ourselves.
All day, man. I like that. That's a gem right there, y'all. Kevin, you want to drop some gems to the public? Anybody out there that's inspiring to do what we do?
Oh yeah, most definitely. My advice is to study the business.
Hmm.
And when you get to a point to where you are presented opportunities, don't jump on the first opportunity. You always negotiate and really like dive into what you're getting yourself into. Because a lot of guys that we see that are famous and they're popping and stuff, they're not really popping. They're millions of dollars in debt, and all six of us in this are making more money than them. So don't be fooled the by the popularity and all that. A lot of these guys are in bad positions, and just make sure you playing chess and not checkers. That's my advice.
Damn.
Thanks.
Effects. It's on you now, big boy. What you got to go ahead and drop some gems for the peoples out there?
Well, in regards to the talent, the skills, your passion, to keep going and keep doing what you do because you only get better. And this genre of hip hop is still a baby in when you look at it from the standpoint, it's only in our lifetimes that it has been created, or at least in mine, going back, I'm 55, so I don't look it, don't feel it, don't sound it, and just gonna keep moving and keep grooving and keep doing it. If you can't succeed if you quit.
Definitely.
Even Colonel Sanders didn't become successful until he was in the 70s. So there's plenty of time.
Right. Right. D. Let me hear, man. I know you got some wisdom for us out there, man. What you got to say?
You got, man, you gotta really be yourself. Be
Mhm.
yourself. Stop doing this style is hot or this is not. Be yourself. Be
Mhm.
yourself and be the best self you could be, right? Like you can't spend your time trying to sound like someone else or mimic your style after someone else because you're not being you, you're just being them.
Right.
That's
Right.
right, Dre Day. KIM. Keep it moving. Yeah.
Move it. A thou wow.
Yeah.
Hassan,
Yeah.
I know you got some, man. Just in life, just anything, bro. I know you got a lot of wisdom. You speak and you articulate very well. So, what gems you got for the public out there?
Man, if I could think of one, I'd just say rationalize your thoughts
Okay.
as soon as possible. The
Mhm.
sooner the better. So the first one that come in mind, what try to rationalize it. That'll probably keep you focused.
Okay. Definitely, man. See, and these are good words of wisdom that if somebody sometimes doesn't stop and just ask us, we just tend to just go along with whatever the conversation is. And that's the reason why sometimes I like to bounce around and just throw things out there like that because you're gonna catch somebody in their thought for really of what it is, right? That impromptu and the first thing that comes to your mind is what we speak about, and that's what's on the frontal lobe. So sometimes I just like to do that, throw it out there. For me, I just always want to say is just stick to your plan. Whatever your plan is, if when you woke up and you said that you were going to do something, don't let nobody move you off your pivot. Since we talk sports, everybody here seems like they're sports orientated. When you wake up and you know that you got a deficiency and you go to work at it, and then when you get that deficiency worked on, don't let somebody tell you you didn't work on it. Don't let nobody tell you that it didn't work all the time and the effort that you put into it. Um, it's a dog eat dog world, just regular. Once you get into entertainment, it's a whole. Now we're talking, you know, all dinosaurs, really, right? Because it's if you don't really own what you do, they will pick it apart. They will go ahead and make it sound like it's not worth anything, the value that you know it is, but then take it from you and go and build it because they know they got something. So stick to your pivot, stick to your goals, your plan, and if it's to be moving in a certain direction, don't, like they say, don't take the first thing coming. I'm gonna quote Redman: never say yes to anything. He says he
Mhm.
never says yes. The first thing when anybody asks him for a deal, to sit down, is he always says, you know what, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. He says he never says yes the first time around to nothing. He always says, let me think about it and get back to you. And his rationale behind that is because now you have more time to think about what Haas was saying, and that's put it everything into perspective. Sometimes we can go ahead and think that, yeah, we need that bag. We've been around people that know that they need that bag, and if there's a bag on the table, it might not even be what they need, the amount, but it's going to get them closer to it. They're going to jump on that bag. But if they would have rationalized and thought about it and maybe communicated better with teams around them, they could have really got the number that they were seeking if they would have did it the right way. So I just say, just stick to a plan and communicate, man. Just like it's a relationship, it's a business ship, relationship, all in one. And you got to communicate. So that's just what I would like to leave on the table. Um, I do want to do one thing before we leave off of this platform, and that's just to get everybody what they got going on. Drop your stuff, your handles. If you got a project, if you got anything moving that you want somebody to know about, I would definitely go ahead and put this out there for you guys to go ahead and promote that and do whatever it is that you do. Your team, your supporters, anybody. Shit, it could be your first grade teacher that put you on the right path. You got anybody that you want to give shout outs to, the floor is yours. We'll start with you, Effects.
Well, as far as my handles and whatnot, Tony Effects, Tony, AFX. A as in Apple, F as in Frank, X as in X-ray. You can Google me. You'll find me everywhere. But I would say, as far as what has got me to this point in regards to uh, being thankful and grateful in regards to that aspect, was our mom, Millie, Dancing Millie, as everybody called her, rest in peace. She never gave up on us. Like I said, I've been in music since I was 7 years old, and she encouraged that. And then when Smooth got involved in music, she encouraged that. And then our second biggest supporter was Big Steve. May he rest in peace. And even though he was hard on us, and he, always tried to get the best out of us, and he's the one that really taught us about the music industry. There was 2 books that we had to read in order to even have a conversation with this man. He said, because we need to be on the same page, have the same vocabulary, same mindset before we can even have the conversation. So, and since then, that's what's helped us along and helped us keep grounded. So that's, shout out to both of them in heaven. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that part. All right, let's go ahead and round about to Kevin. Ali, my man. Go ahead.
Man, I just want to thank everybody who's taking the time out of their life to support, what I got going on in the music industry, because I could go on forever on the people that I want to thank, but yeah, like, because everybody has sacrificed in their own way, whether that's time or money, however they invested into me. Like, I'm grateful for everybody, and I'm gonna just cap it off at that.
Sounds good. Chiefo, it's on you.
I'm gonna just shout out to my family. That's really been everybody that's been supporting me, my family, and definitely my girl and my kids and my motivation. They always tell me to go get in the studio every day. So, and I got a project coming October 25th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave it at
You
that.
some Boston
All right,
kids
all
too.
right. That means you'll be back then, right? Because you
Yeah,
got
I'll
to
be
talk
back.
more about that and drop all of the gems on that. So that's what it do. Hassan, it's on you, man.
I like to thank the hosts tonight because, like you said, soaking up knowledge. I really just was just in, and it's a lot of things that I wish out there for you. My bad. Pen, so I could start writing down. But my memory shouldn't even be that bad. But there's 2 things that I really clicked on to tonight that both the hosts said tonight. So I like to thank you too tonight.
Thank you. Oh man,
Thank you
likewise.
for showing up.
Hey D, it's on you, man. Any thank yous you want to drop real quick, man?
Hey, I gotta thank everybody. I gotta thank the panel. Thank y'all for pulling up,
Salute.
showing out. Just keep grinding at everything y'all doing. Y'all know what you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all very talented, and y'all just need to just stay at it, man. Stay at it.
Yes.
Fuck what
Yeah.
they think. How about that? You feel me?
Or-
Real shit.
Yeah. Or
All the thinksters,
mhm.
everybody that tuned in.
Mm.
What's up, Dre Day? RP, that's what's happening. Yeah, man. Just be nice to people.
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying? Be nice to people. You don't know what nobody going through, so be nice. Even if they look like an asshole, just be nice, man.
Hey,
Just be nice to them.
Fact.
You can't help it they an asshole. That's not your fault, right? Just be nice to them. Shit.
Fact though.
Yeah.
Definitely. I want to go ahead and just give my thanks to the panel first and foremost, man. Everybody tapping in. Like I said, this is a lovely sight to see all of the people that's out there that's watching that will go ahead and rewatch this. It's definitely a great thing because there's a lot of gems, a lot of jewels. We're gonna have more of these lives. We're gonna keep it going. So stay tapped in, man. Stay tapped in. But yes, rest in peace, Mom. Rest in peace, Big Steve. Man, our biggest supporters. To my big bro who taught me everything I know about music, Tony Effects, Dre Day, you know what I'm saying, Mansion of Mayhem, Stay Straps, everybody that's been a part along in this journey, and then also the new people that has been brought forth just through this whole platform right here. And I just want to say this, that thank you, D, man, because I think what we started is something that we're going to build greater things on. Hopefully we can continue to keep everybody in the mix as well. If you guys have anything that you have coming out, going on, that you want us to blast on our community, want to come on here and discuss, anytime, you guys are more than welcome to tap in. You got a full-blown invitation to jump on here and do what you guys do. So add this to some more support at what you got in your bag, in your arsenal, and use it. Once again, applied knowledge, right? Applied resources. We can have a gang of names and numbers on our phones, emails, all of that stuff, man. If we don't use it, it's useless. We're just talking about it to the next person. So I just wanted to go ahead and definitely put that out there. And I want to drop this gem, man. Don't let a platform be your boss. Okay, build a home that you know that they're going to come knocking on that door. They can't cancel your own sites, your own signals, then that means that they can't stop your story. So as we grow, as we elevate, as we evolve, there's going to be bigger steps that we got to jump over and hurdles. And I'm going to be looking at y'all, man. I'm going to be like, hey, man, we got to get over this wall and we got to do it together. And that's going to be building these type of platforms, our websites, things that we can control that they can't shut down. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Let's just keep on moving. Let the world know your story. You guys got something important to tell people and inspire. So salute to everybody, man. This is Things of That Nature, the session for the D and the Doc, man. Keep us tuned in to all of the other stuff that we got going in, because you owe it to yourself to be great. All right.
All right.
Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it, y'all. To everybody that tapped in, one love, and we out.
No.
Yes, sir.
Things of that nature. Things of that nature.